Hey Taurus, it's Jen here. I am doing a bonus August reading for you guys. Every month I change what I call these. I don't know. Eventually, maybe I'll settle on something. Who knows? But welcome, Taurus, for your August bonus reading. So we're just going to pick some cards and see what's up, and hopefully I don't set the cards on fire with my candles. I forgot I had these. Just some little tea lights. Taurus. How's Taurus for August? Taurus. What are the energies like for Taurus? Take your time. Now I'm being sarcastic to my deck of cards. Maybe you're a little impatient. That's unusual for Taurus. You guys are usually pretty chill. Here we go. But of course it depends on you, Not every single Taurus is this exact certain way, because that'd be ridiculous. All right, you got a bonus card. Can you see that? And we're going to look at the bottom of the deck, which is I haven't been doing recently, but I don't know why I stopped. I used to always look at the bottom. And we have the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So the Ten of Swords is, it's not the most happy looking card, but it signifies a time where, you've reached the breaking point. Or it's sometimes too, you just have an enormous amount of anxiety around something, and there's a moment when you just let it go. You know what I mean? I'm not even sure how I get to that point or what I do to get to that point. But we're all of a sudden, it's a surrender. It's a surrender to, I can't change that. Me worrying and having anxiety and thinking about the situation, and stressing about it, is not going to change it. And sometimes it's the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's sometimes, in fact, it seems like more often than not, it's not some huge giant thing. It's a small thing, but for whatever reason, that's what tips the scales. That's the final pebble, the straw that tip. I'm mixing up all sorts of, I don't even know if they're metaphors, but and yeah, that's it. I just saw Jenga going down. Okay, enough with that. It's just that one final thing. But for whatever reason, it just hits you and everything just falls into place and makes sense, and you're done. You release it. So when do we have our moons again? I know we have, and I'm not sure when I'll get these up. 8/8 is the Lion's Gate. They call it the new moon in Leo. August 22nd is the full moon in Aquarius. So I would think the energy around that August 22nd could be an indication maybe of when you're going to have this epiphany, or this I'm having trouble thinking of the right word. This release, yeah, where you're just ready to let that go. And I think you're going to be surprised. Look at that, another 10. So it's definitely completions. I think you'll be surprised at how much better you feel. It was like you were resisting against it because, some fear-based thinking or whatever, like we do. But it really, once you finally got there, it was kind of shocking how right it felt and how easy it was to let it go. The Ten of Cups, the happily ever after card. So when this card comes up, I always ask you to ask yourself, what is your happily ever after? What does that look like? Because it's going to look different for everyone. But what is that happy place? Where is that? And I kind of dislike the imagery in this card if I ever get to make my own deck. Um, because it shows happiness as external, right? It shows happiness as uh, having a family. But that, again, that's not everyone's happiness, but it's happiness is much more internal and not censoring yourself and living the life that, you know, the authenticity that you truly want, being who you truly want to be. Doesn't mean you're being a dickhead, obviously, but leaning into who you are, um, which again is all that internal struggle. So maybe that's part of what this, where's my incense stick? Maybe that's part of this is stop fighting internally your true self. Um, Maybe you don't want a family. Maybe you don't want kids and your family really feels like, or your partner, yeah, your partner really wants kids. Yeah, so a few of you may be in a situation where you actually really, really love your partner, um, but you have made a discovery that there are a couple fundamental things that differ. Instead of um, hoping the other one will change or just being in denial and bringing it up later, which definitely happens. You don't want kids, I want kids. Oh, they'll want kids when the time comes to it. And when the time comes around, they still don't want kids like they told the other person in the first place. So you may be on either side of something like that, where someone really wasn't listening or didn't believe or wasn't being the other person or wasn't being honest in the first place with the other person about their deal breakers and things like that. And so there needs to be a release. But I think in the release, still in that situation, you're going to have to admit that it wasn't right. Like you had said you were happy and you were, but there was something missing. Seven of Wands. Oh, someone's going to want you to explain yourself. Probably the person that's has to do with this situation is going to want you to explain yourself. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain yourself. Again, not being a dickhead and just there is some level of respectful conversation that may need to go on if this has been a serious relationship or something. However, getting sucked into a fight about it or having to over-explain yourself or whatever, it is not necessary, but someone's going to want you to do it. That could be one of the reasons why deep down you knew it wasn't right, because of situations like this where you don't feel that you are being heard. Ten of Wands. Three tens. Three tens. So such a culmination, an ending, and a new beginning. I mean, when you look at this Ten of Swords, I mean, that could be a sunset, but it looks like a sunrise to me. Leo, right? The sun is coming out. Maybe it's around that Lion's Gate of 8/8, though. The sun's coming out. Everything seems clearer now. You have a better perspective, you feel, and you're feeling confident in your choice. You're putting down burdens. This Ten of Wands is baggage and burdens, or maybe you were dealing with someone that had this baggage and burdens, but didn't recognize it, didn't want to deal with it, and they crept up in the relationship. This could be any kind of relationship: work, family, romantic, friends. And so it's just like I can't take on that person and their baggage, because it seems like and I'm not talking about, something traumatic. I'm talking about breakups and things like that. And maybe some jealousy or things like that that creep their way in, that you're just like, this is this is wearing me down. Um, because there's one thing. I know lots of couples, and I do this with my friends even. If I know they're going on a trip or something, I'm like, okay, call me when you get there. When are you supposed to get there? What route are you taking? Or if they go out on dates, even ones that live in different cities, text me when you get home. I don't care how late it is, because I always wake up in the middle of the night and I'll look at my phone. I'll see that you're okay. Um, so that is supportive and like mutual. I mean, that's like the spirit is given by me and taken by my friends, because they do the same thing to me in a good way. But when it's like a jealous way, like a sort of there's like this desperation, or just suspicion maybe behind it, and the energy is different. That's what it is. The spirit and the energy of it that's different, where it's more like, I need to know where you are. You need to check in and let me know where you are, because I don't trust you. Is that like the unspoken thing? What's this last? You got a bonus card. Knight of Wands, honeymoon period card. Yes, I really do see this ending that you were putting off, or not wanting to do. Could be leaving a job. Um, Once you do it, you are going to have energy and motivation and uplift. You will not have realized how much it was weighing you down. So maybe this is you in that situation. um, and so you're able to release, to drop all those burdens, and because they were someone else's burdens. So maybe it's like, it was codependent, and now you have your mojo back. Maybe you're meeting people who are positive and happy. Maybe you're like, that person was kind of a downer in a lot of ways. Um, because people can project friendly and happy, but when you start settling in with them, if that's not how they truly are, it's very difficult for them to maintain, for a negative person to maintain the happiness kind of throughout things, if they're really a downer type person. I think I've been drawing some. Let's draw just a few more cards and see if we can get some more information, or even some new messages. What am I doing? I'm doing Taurus. Yeah, relief. Like, I see you, like, sigh of relief. Maybe you're going to dodge a bullet, and you're going to realize it fairly soon. Temperance, Sag, balance. Yeah, it's like, where's the balance between this stress and anxiety and this happily ever after? Maybe you're like, I just need balance. I don't need someone super happy all the time, but I can't be in an atmosphere that is just so stressful for really no reason. Six of Pentacles, another balance card. I want give and take. I don't want to be the one. Maybe you really found yourself, the person was just very needy, and it became so, and this can happen with any sort of relationship, even a boss, coworker. Um, the person was just so needy. You, your needs just weren't even considered. And it's crazy how you can get conditioned into that. It's like, wait a minute, how did I get here? Page of Cups. Yep, and there's once you release that, boy, there's new um, offers or things coming in. You may have really realized someone you already knew, or already know is the type of person. Maybe it's more of a friend. Maybe someone it's more maybe the if it's a relationship, the person that you were dating was very attractive potentially. Um, or how do I say this without it was attraction led. Whereas this person, it was more of a connection, a friendship, and enjoyment of each other that led the relationship that then is going to turn to love because you're going to have this realization that's the type of person I want. I I want a chill person that is fun to be around, that doesn't drain my energy, that wants to ask how I'm doing and things like that. So the balance, things really coming into balance internally in what you want and externally the people you're surrounding yourself with. Oh, do I have Taurus? I think that I have a little Taurus in my chart. I want to claim this reading. I really like it. Can I have your reading, Taurus? Okay. Thank you very, very much for joining. If you want to like, share, or subscribe to my channel, I would truly, truly appreciate it. And I also do personal readings, and the information is down below. Take care. Bye.